Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. That's Boo Boo and JJ. And if you hear any snoring in the background, that's Chuck, my bulldog. So now that we have everybody introduced, let's step into, wow. All right, let's get to your reading. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, the overall energy of your reading is the Star card. Hopeful energy. So a lot of times people perceive the Star card as wishing upon a star. It feels like you are bringing a dream, a wish into this reality. Like you're witnessing what you've asked for as it's manifesting in the 3D. Wow. All right. Fantastic. I'm also getting some type of reflection of yourself in what is coming through. There's something about taking your power back, stepping into star energy. Wow, this is so interesting. It feels like you are stepping into your power, your authority, and demonstrating by some wish of yours is being manifested into this reality. I keep rereading that, hoping I'll get something else. What else does the viewer need to know about this overall energy? Okay. 7 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 5 of Cups. It feels like it's been a difficult time to get to where you're at. You've had to be tactical, had to protect yourself, be guarded, and go through a great deal of grief. This feels like a hero's journey that you've been on. Wow, if I were to tell the story, you know what's interesting is I don't feel like I'm telling the story. I feel like it's written in the stars, star card. There's some story that you have been playing out, a hero's journey. It looks like you didn't realize that the people around you weren't for you. It's like you realized these people aren't for me. They're not my people, something like that. There was a need to be very tactical, to keep your moves to yourself. It feels like you've had to protect yourself from the people closest to you, and this has created a lot of grief in your life. And so it feels like we've reached the pentacle, star, pentacle. We've reached some point where you've gone through so much difficulty and you're stepping into the star energy. It feels like you are a star. Your star qualities are coming through into this reality. Something that you've always wanted is coming through, like wish granted. But it's not an airy-fairy wish that's just falling into your lap. You've been through the difficult journey to get to this blessing. Wow. Oh. It looks like with the Emperor in reverse and the Empress showing up right next to each other. It looks like you've healed your divine feminine energy, high priestess as well. So it looks like you've recognized part of this hero's journey you've been on is realizing toxic masculinity. It looks like there's some story here that masculine about toxic masculinity. I think you're recognizing it for what it is, that's not love. It feels like that's who you were close to, who you're behind enemy lines. It's someone closest to you that you had to protect yourself against. It looks like you're showing up as the empress, and your emperor was very toxic. And you recognize that is not love. I do not recognize this activity, lying, cheating, stealing, me having to protect myself from my partner is not love. It feels like this person created a lot of grief for you. And it looks like you're very intuitive. You've got unlimited potential. And it looks like you've been following your feminine energy. And you know what's interesting with the Empress card here? She also has this star that's brighter than the others above her head. So again, it feels like wish coming true, stepping into your star qualities, stepping into your divine feminine, into your intuitiveness. Wow. All right. The hidden blessing is the Queen of Swords. She's got her Roman armor on. She's got Athena on her cloak, an owl. This definitely has like an Athena wisdom. You're seeing things clearly internally. There's a lot of clarity. Yes, you're seeing clearly. It feels like people played you in the past, especially Emperor reversed. Maybe toxic masculines were in your blind spot. Devil. Yeah, you see that toxic energy now. You're very aware of it. Yeah, period. I'm just watching the Queen of Swords just looking at this devil card. Like, I see you. Now I see you. Now I see what I'm up against. Yeah, Strength card, Two of Cups reverse. You have faced your fears and you've let go of some relationship that's not loving. It's not loving. Ace of Cups reverse, Two of Cups reverse. This isn't love. Someone sold you a bill, a story, a fairy tale of what love is. It looks like you went on a hero's journey and recognized this is not love. Feels like this person lying, cheating, stealing, and you had to protect yourself. This was very heartbreaking. But the hidden blessing is now you recognize that toxic energy. You see it a mile away. You faced your fears. You feel very confident. You don't need a relationship. You're very confident. Feels like you've learned what you needed to learn. You've taken what happened in the past and and you've made it your bitch, is what I just heard. So you use that information to get you to where you want, a higher understanding, having what you prefer in your experience, facing your fears, feeling confident. You feel very confident. I wouldn't mess with you. Feels like you would call a spade a spade. You call things out that you might have, had a different way of being, and now you're showing up. You feel very different. I'm not surprised as I'm tuning into this energy that you have this star quality, because you feel very confident about who you are. It's real confidence. It's not, it's an empowered feeling. Wow. All right, what you're leaving behind is the Nine of Cups in reverse. Unhappiness, a lack of wish fulfillment. I get the feeling that someone told you this lack of wish fulfillment was loving, you being out of alignment, you centering someone else in your experience, decentering your, feels like you were taught to center an emperor, a toxic man, toxic, someone with toxic masculine traits. I don't want to gender this, but it does seem, what I'm getting here is you were taught to center someone else in your experience, which got you out of alignment with who you are. And the longer you spent your life, your time decentering yourself and centering someone else, you just become a version of yourself that's just very out of balance. You're not aligned with who you are, you're aligned with someone else. So of course, everything starts falling apart slowly, because you have a core energy frequency that you give off. And that core energy frequency, when you're aligned with it, everything that you need can find you. You're aligned, you're at your core energy frequency, you've centered yourself, your soul, and your experience. And so you're aligned, and so whatever is for you can find you, because you are vibrating at your core energy frequency. So all those things that are lined up to get to you, that are trying to find you, they can't find you because you've centered someone else in your experience and you're very out of alignment. So all your, what is for you in this lifetime, what's trying to find you, can't find you because you're at a different frequency. You're vibrating at someone else's frequency, which benefits them but does nothing to benefit you. So you get more and more out of alignment, more and more unhappy, more and more, it looks like almost cursed. It probably even feels like you were cursed because you were attuning to someone else. And so you're leaving that behind. You're no longer doing that. Now you see this activity, another Queen of Swords. There's a lot of internal clarity. You're seeing things very differently. You're seeing what works. You're seeing what doesn't. This is discernment. This is an inner discernment where there once was a lot of fog. You're seeing things very clearly. It looks like it's been a kind of slow going. Maybe financially getting to where you prefer. It looks like you're leaving that behind as well. Oh, things are going to start picking up. Things have been kind of, I wouldn't say stagnant, but just slow going. Pentacles and base chakra in the 3D. Maybe a little slower than what you prefer. What is that? This is what you're leaving this behind. You're leaving, okay, you're leaving that slow going. It feels like something's going to pick up with the Star card coming in, feminine energy. It doesn't feel like you're actively doing something. It feels very internal. Feels like you're making choices, being very discerning, and you're leaving behind being out of balance. Again, being so out of balance. Things not moving, everything being out of balance because of centering someone else in your experience. Yeah, it feels like you're leaving behind this stuck quality, something feeling very stuck, things not moving. Very interesting. All right, how to get the most of this energy is the Strength card. Confidence, second time the Strength card has shown up. Facing your fears, going towards what makes you nervous. It looks like that's empowered you. You've shown yourself what you can do. So things that used to be scary to you aren't scary anymore because you've shown yourself how to deal with those things. Feels like you've healed your inner demons, it feels like you might have fired your inner critic, like a real harsh critic that you've had, and like an internal, it feels like you're no longer allowing, even internally, for you to poo-poo on yourself. Feels like you're coaching yourself, you're cheerleader. You've got a very can-do attitude here. There's a confidence about you, and I think that's really supporting you. We've got the Hermit card showing up. There's something that you've learned. The Hermit is by themselves going on this journey up very tall, steep mountains. And on this journey, the Hermit finds enlightenment. And that's what's in the lantern that they're carrying. They know something. Their journey has taught them something about themselves. It feels like there's something that you've learned on your journeys. I was saying at the beginning, this feels like a hero's journey. And what I'm getting here is there's some type of enlightenment that you have touched onto that has created an inner strength within you. Feels like it's time for you to come down from that mountain and share what you've learned with others. Whatever this enlightenment is, it feels like it will empower others. It feels like it's empowered you to be the person you prefer to be. Feels like you have the confidence to bring what you wish into this reality. Maybe that's also what you're sharing with others. How to not only show up and be the person you prefer to be, but whatever the Star card is, creating the reality you prefer to live in. Wow. All right, what's supporting you is the World in reverse. There's a lack of achievement, lack of accomplishment, repeating a cycle without ending. Okay, this is this past person, past relationship. It could have been a marriage for some of you. Yes, it looks like it was really hard for you to end that cycle with this person. Like you were just trying to make it work. Something came to light. Something that was hidden started coming to light. What came to light is this realization that this relationship was working for this person. This Emperor in reverse. Someone who lied, cheated, stole. Someone you had to protect yourself from, the person that you're in a relationship with, and they caused an incredible amount of grief. That was not love. It looks like what's supporting you is just recognizing you don't want to repeat a cycle. I got it. This person is not going to change. They're not going to change. It's working for them. You being out of alignment and focusing and centering them is working for them. So they don't see what the problem is. There's just this need to recognize, oh, this is what it's about. No matter what this person says, it feels like you're recognizing what they do and realizing I'm not happy. This isn't going to change. It's not going to get any better. And it looks like, I think recognizing that, what's supporting you is just recognizing when something is just not going to work, giving yourself permission to see it, to have something else, that you don't have to stay in this and with someone who doesn't put in the work, who's unhappy, who's not going to change. It looks like what's supporting you, there's, another star card coming in with the Three of Cups. Some of you, it feels like some of what you're bringing in, wishes coming true, wishes granted, is support. People who truly love and care for and about you, who celebrate you. It looks like you haven't had a lot of support, care, and it looks like that's part of what you're bringing in. It feels like someone treated you so poorly and kind of made you maybe believe that that's what you deserve. That's as good as it gets. And not to you. You're so discerning and you recognize that you can have so much more. Of course you can. You don't need to tolerate unhappiness. Something that was hidden. It feels like you're becoming more conscious and you're just realizing that this has been a nightmare. And it's also been a comfort zone that maybe you stayed in a comfort zone for too long. Allowing someone to play you, juggle you. And there's a recognition who to work with and who not going forward. I love it. I think once you realize who's not for you, and even if that's someone very close to you, like, I don't want to repeat this cycle. I want my happiness. It doesn't feel like, it feels like someone used to be able to talk you out of, used to be able to get you to stop trying, to stop wanting, to stop having needs and desires for yourself. It feels like this person also, there's some type of isolation here, making you feel isolated, maybe purposely isolating you. And so it looks like you're bringing in a lot of support, care, people who really care about you. Wow. All right. Moving on to what to be mindful of, we have the Hermit in reverse. Interesting. So the Hermit was coming out in how to get the most of this energy. In reverse, it feels like it's time to share what you've learned. Share that enlightenment. It feels like, yes, with also what's supporting you, Three of Cups, people coming to support you, to celebrate you, to love and care about you. There's a need to come out of that hermit mode. Share what you've learned with the rest of the class. It feels like there's some wisdom that you've learned along your journey, your hero's journey. What does the viewer need to know about Hermit reversed? What does the viewer need to be mindful of? Knight of Cups in reverse. someone who creates a false reality. Someone who tells you what you want to hear but can't deliver. Someone who creates within you, it looks like someone created a false reality, told you what you wanted to hear, and then couldn't deliver on that false reality. But it feels like you might have stayed in some not staying present and aligned. It feels like the more you followed this person and got out of alignment with your own energy and focused on this other person, maybe that's what you do in relationships. You decenter, you lose yourself. You drink the Kool-Aid and you believe them, you get hooked on a feeling. That's what this feels like. I think you're wanting it to be real. Star card, where we started in this whole reading, was you want your dream, but you want it to be real in this 3D. You're not, this feels very different than in the past. You would have a fantasy and kind of be a little in your fantasy world, projecting on someone what you wanted the truth to be, wanted the reality to be. And it looks like going forward, you perceive what's true and what's not. You're very discerning. You're not hooked on a feeling, following some fantasy where you have to lose yourself in order. Yes, Queen of Cups, you've healed that within you. You've healed that wound, and it feels like you recognize that you need to be in the picture, that you are loving, that you are caring, and to allow. There's something about allowing. Empress energy, there's a lot of feminine energy here. Allow others to care for you, that you don't have to go out and prove yourself. There's also an emotional maturity here, a level of emotional healing, heart healing. Wow, beautiful. All right, I'm going to continue on to Patreon and do an extended reading. So if this has been resonating and you want to continue on, I'm about halfway through the reading. In part 2, I'll be looking at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So for those of you who will follow me over, I'll see you over on Patreon. For the rest of you, hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.